Today, I'm giving you 6 tips for getting started with watercolor for absolute beginners. It's no secret I hated watercolor the first time I tried it. I would have saved myself a lot of time and frustration if I'd only gotten some helpful tips. The most important thing is making sure that you are working with good quality material. Good quality paper will make even student grade watercolor look so much better. Before last year, I never actually used watercolor paper. I used mixed media, but when I started using watercolor paper, the way I worked with the medium changed. And listen, you deserve to use the good paper. I wish I'd known that sketching in watercolor pencil was an option way sooner. Regular graphite becomes permanent once you apply water to it, and while I love the sketchy look, sometimes you don't want all of those lines present. Watercolor pencil melts away with the water, and you can even choose colors that complement whatever you're working on. I tend to go for a cool gray or an earth green, but you can choose whatever color you like. If you sketch with a light hand, watercolor pencil is also erasable. Secret bonus tip, if you happen to be a graphite sketching artist and don't have any spray fixative to protect your artwork from smudging, just brush on a little bit of water. Make sure you don't add too much, otherwise your paper might buckle or the graphite might run. Using watercolor is an exercise in patience, and thankfully watercolor dries pretty quickly, but using a heat gun or a small fan can speed it up just a little bit more. If you want to have any hope of layering your watercolor, you need to let the first layer dry. Thankfully, it's super easy to tell if watercolor is still wet. It will have a sheen to it. Dry watercolor is matte. You can use that fan or heat gun or blow dryer to move wet watercolor around your paper, creating different sorts of splatter effects. Make sure that you're using waterproof liners. My go-to have always been Sakura Microns, but there are plenty of fine liners that you can choose from. Just make sure the barrel of the pen says that it's waterproof. It's never a bad idea to test your supplies before you use them, especially on the type of paper you're going to be using for your finished piece. It is a truth universally acknowledged that every painting will have an ugly stage. Learn to embrace it. It will start out ugly. Like most art materials, watercolor works in layers, so you just have to trust the process. One of the great things about working with watercolor is how loose you can be with it. It doesn't require tight lines, you don't have to have crisp edges, and it gives you a lot of freedom to play around and experiment. I found that once you get a feel for it, watercolor is a very low stakes medium. Lastly, make sure you have 2 glasses of water. One to rinse off your brush with and keep it clean. The second one with clean water so that you can do a secondary rinse or use that water to add to your watercolor. And that's it. 6 tips I wish I'd known before I started using watercolor. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.